Folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated. Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm just checking my audio quickly. Make sure that comes through. As soon as this comes through, I'll say hello properly. Perfect. Okay, lovely. So hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. My name is Gentsla and we're out here trading. As you can see, what we're actually doing is we are trading our 100k Blue Guardian account, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff to get into. First, I'm going to present my Blue Guardian dashboard. So if you watch the previous video on Trading Nuts about where we are in the challenge, obviously I didn't take a trade yesterday because it was a Monday and I trade Tuesday to Friday. And so right now we're currently sitting at 470, which is 4.7% in profit, which was 0.47%, which is good. Obviously it's slow, and that's what we're here for. We're here to just increase. We have enough time. It's an infinite challenge. It means that you don't need to risk ludicrous amounts to actually be profitable and make money. Over time, things should balance out and you should be profitable. If it takes a month, 2 months, 3 months, doesn't matter. We're out here. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Raul and Peak. Welcome back. KUF and Ahmed. Welcome. Good to see you guys here. And then we have, of course, our Guardian Protector, which I'm just turn it off for a second. And then turn it on to make sure that it's on. We're only risking this amount because it's 0.25% per trade. And of course, let's get to our dashboard again with that line, and we see everything here. We've got a nice win rate. We've got a nice profit factor. And so we just keep on going and keep going. Good morning, Jennifer Laura. So it's either, how we do this is we just make sure that we're consistent and we keep going. We don't want to lose ourselves in the market. Okay, now I'm just going to remove this from the stream and turn it off and present. Here we go. Okay, so let me just get into this. Okay, so looking at this large range from yesterday, let's just go into DXY. Okay. Now, DXY, okay, obviously we on Friday, we went to that Hong Kong gap. It then came back down. We then set up the new Hong Kong gap with the weekly opening gap right here. As that was set, that has not been seen to, okay, as in there's still a little bit of a gap over here that needs to be filled back in. If you keep this price exactly where it should be, the opening of that candle right there, okay, it's not perfect. Make it perfect. There we go. Okay, so what we have is we have price has not come in to the weekly opening. So this is a target for later on. I'm expecting price to come up here at least sometime today, whether it's in Asia or it's in London. If you were in the stream last week, you would have seen that I was expecting shorts down to the MMG. Everything else over here went straight up, and so in euro, sorry. We go, that was Monday, here's Friday. Okay, so it shorted down right through that MMG all the way down to the sell side, came back up. We then have a whole bunch of price action, weekly range, Hong Kong gap that gets set up, comes back into the previous Hong Kong gap, goes down, and we're setting up today. Okay, again, I am with this price action over here. We do need to fill in this range. So from the previous Hong Kong gap to the high of this leg right over here, that 50% there needs to be filled in at some point. This leg has been filled, but these ones here at the bottom, they have not been seen to. So with prices as they are, okay, I am expecting there's a little bit of a fair value gap here at the top on DXY, but I'm expecting a drop in DXY. So if DXY is selling, I'm expecting all the other currencies to be buying. Okay. Now we have GBP as well. So we have yesterday's range. You can see how, just as usual, opening gap is set. As soon as this is set, price reverses, fills in the gap, goes higher to the previous opening gap and Hong Kong gap, and then pulls a swing around, takes liquidity underneath. Remember, in the previous streams, if you're watching, I said that the 1230 is a very important level, and they normally see that in London. So we have a fill over here. It goes down, takes the 1230, comes back up to the weekly opening gap and the Hong Kong gap in New York. Okay. We then have AUD pulling almost the exact same thing, except in a tighter range. So we have opening gap over here. Hong Kong is set up at this point, which is around like 11, almost midnight, New York time. Switches around, the 1230 set. So we have not in London, but in New York, it comes up to fill that 1230. We then have the Hong Kong gap and the opening weekly gap that is just continued out, and price trades through. I wasn't actually trading yesterday because it was not giving me good vibes. Okay, I was just like, no, I didn't feel that the times were exact. So what I was looking at is I was looking at my times: 9 o'clock, 9:50 to 9:50 to 9:10. I was looking for a short to fill in this gap. It didn't happen here. It happened later on at 1, almost like London time. Then London came and swung it around. So I wasn't in that move. 3 o'clock, my normal trading, when it reverses, we were already within the Hong Kong gap and the opening gap. So again, I didn't have the space I needed. I used these as targets. If you were trading the different times, yes, you might have had a trade. So if you got into that, good job. All right. And then on indices over the night, okay, we had our gap over here. It was actually really, really clean in New York. We had our 830 sell side, 930 buy side. It snaps that, makes a fair value gap right in here, triggers it, goes up, seeks the buy side liquidity, comes back to the fair value gap. That timing was perfect between 9:50 and 10:10. It came into that fair value gap amazingly, and then it sought buy side. We have our 12. This is my afternoon strat. We have our 12-to-1 liquidity. As soon as it takes one or the other side, it takes it and then creates a market structure shift. We have a fair value gap, and then guess what? It comes and seeks the other side. Today, that was that gap. We have this over here as well, which is coming into 9:30. So we have the open at 4. You'll see right here. We then have the 9:30 open over here. Again, this whole area is now your gap. So what happens? It snakes it a little bit, comes all the way up, fills it in perfectly. Okay, fills that whole gap in. It still needs to seek buy side. That's why I have these big rectangles on my thing, because it still needs to go up. But right now it's presenting a sell opportunity. Where did it go to? If you see the liquidity on the side, we have a whole bunch of equal highs right over here. And that was your buy side, and this is your sell side. Okay. Now let me just label that as not buy side liquidity. Hey, what am I doing? Where's my sell side liquidity gone? Okay, well, This is not buy side. Let me delete that. This is sell side. Okay, as soon as it takes that equal high, what does it do? Again, it makes a beautiful little fair value gap in price. And you could have either taken that trade right there. What time was that? Between 9:50 and 10:10. Creates another opportunity here on the imbalance. And then you could have shorted that all the way down to the opposite side of the range. Then, of course, we have lunch trade, which is pretty easy to set up again. What we do is we have our 12 o'clock right here. Okay, that's the start of lunchtime liquidity. And we have 1 o'clock, which should be the end of liquidity, the lowest low in that. Now, what we have in price is it resided within that range. So the first side that it took was here, okay, which was around 4 o'clock, which is closing time. So ultimately, there was no afternoon trade, in my opinion, on US 500. But what I'm expecting is that price should at least come and fill in the rest of this on the buy side over here. Okay. So weekly open still there on GU. So let's get up to the questions. Seeing as 8 minutes before I start hunting. What's up, Takor? Welcome, my man. Good morning. What is your trading style, time frame, and how long do you hold trades? I guess my first time to see you. Well, Anono, Google. First of all, welcome. It's good to have you here. My trading style is I trade on the 1 minute. I trade ICT, but I use different time points that during the Asian session. And it is more of I hunt for reversals. I look for opposing sides of liquidity, and I seek that liquidity. How do you get the account? The account that I have right now is through Trading Nut. It was like a little competition thing that he did about people who can prove that they can trade, and then you get the account. Good morning. I hope you had a lovely weekend, Tom. My weekend was nice. It was a chilled weekend. Thank you for saying that, asking that question. I took a sell off GU, bounce off MMG. Took a while to play out, but it was pretty nice. Yeah, it really works. It really works. It's something that's interesting. Again, I'm here just sharing my knowledge with you. Okay, whatever you do, trading wise, is again, it's your own responsibility. I'm obviously not a licensed financial broker or anything like that. So we're just here offering entertainment, and because it's entertainment, I have to say certain things like, if you enjoyed the video, or if you are actually enjoying the video and liking the content, don't forget to hit that like if you haven't already. It'd be lovely. And then we will continue on, because obviously it shows that there's interest from the audience, from you guys. Behind every great stream or streamer or channel, there's a great community. And when you find your community, that's one of the healthiest, most beautiful things, especially if they're supportive. Now, coming into this, what I want to do is just add some music quickly. Bang, let's put it on. It is educational. I mean, because again, what I'm doing is I'm sharing my knowledge, and I'm showing how I view the chart. I'm gonna have to start removing these things from my chart though, because for me it's a little bit too messy. But I'm like leaving it on to visualize so you guys can visualize what I'm seeing. Am I planning to hang out here regularly? I'm on Tuesday to Friday. From my time, it's 10:30 until 12. So 10:30 was 15 minutes ago, whatever that is in your time, until for an hour and a half. Now let me actually just get my broker chart open while this happens. And see what the broker's telling me. There is a monster gap in AU. On the sell side. That's the range. We have 6604 until 66701. 6604 to 66701. Let me transfer that over. It's right here. 6604 is all the way down here. So I said it's a monster gap. 6671. You don't see it because they don't present it, but there is a massive gap. Sorry about my voice. There's a massive gap over here in price. Because these candles over here, you can't see it, but what actually happened was it dropped, it opened one, closed it immediately, and then we had the next one. So when they were adding the liquidity right here, in this, like, what you could call it like a spike in a way, you see how like price is kind of like normal, and it goes pop, pop, pop. That little thing of price action right there, that's like an indication that money has entered the market. But of course it goes straight to the previous day's Hong Kong gap, fills that in, and yeah, it's amazing. This weekly open gap just got seen to. I haven't actually done my analysis on this chart. So let's quickly do our analysis on this chart. On GBP, we have 259 closing right over here. It's not perfect. 259 right there, and label that. Today was nice because the market is back to usual, which is your 604 closing of the candle, so right there, till the 745 opening. So 745 should be around here somewhere. Yeah, opening right there. That is your opening gap on GBP. And we've set this. We're waiting for on here. We're waiting for 9:15 to set the Hong Kong gap. And then we'll go from there. What's DXY doing? DXY is bouncing. Doesn't need to come up and fill this. Yeah, so it's funny. The MMG that crashed through, the Hong Kong gap and the opening gap that was right there, I think it's so beautiful in price. We set that on Monday last week. And on Friday, what you see is the price crashes right through. Okay, this is that beautiful. This MMG over here. It goes down and then makes its way straight back up right to that perfect. You can see how perfect the candles are within that tight little range. Like, look at the bodies. Again, we look at the bodies of the candles and the wicks, how perfect all that is. It's amazing. So how was everyone's weekend? What did we get up to? Were we back testing or checking data? It's a little gap in price over here. Percent of EU range needs to be filled. Also equal lows down here and equal lows up there. That's our range. Backtesting and finished Black Mirror. Oh, that Black Mirror was exciting, wasn't it? That last episode had me in stitches. I was just laughing so much. Because it's such satire. So the lows I was talking about is here is equal highs. Over here that's been set. We also have down here, that's by the 1230, the equal lows. We have equal lows and we have equal highs. We're now within this range. We have had, if you take the full leg, 50% has been offered and it's come back and it continues going down. Now, I want to add something to show you something very, very interesting. Okay. Putting on the levels onto the chart. Again, if we look to the side, you can see the round numbers. We have 1.10000 right over here. That gets seen to, it comes back, tests it, continues going down. Beautiful. Where does it react from? The 098800 over here. We have the 09500, which was its target. Okay, it comes down. Where does it come down to? 09200 right there. If it's going to continue going lower, it busts through the 200, goes straight to the 09000 over here. Continues going down. We have the 088 and the 085, which I'll put over here for you. 085. Round number. Beautiful. Make that yellow so it's consistent. So we have yellow over here. And then from there, it comes straight back up. Has a nice straight back to the round number, goes back to the 8800, and then we continue going up. It has a bounce around the 9000 over here, continues up to the 200, goes back down to the 9000, and then we are where we're going. Yeah, Peak. Have you seen how phenomenal that MMG is? It's something else. And again, like I find these things, it's so random. It's like I found these things just by watching someone else, and they weren't even looking for these things, but I saw them in his charts, and I was just like, hold on, that needs investigation. And I went in and delved deep, and I looked at thousands and upon thousands of hours. Yeah, this is yesterday. This is previous. What I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to remove this green one because it's like in my way of seeing. I can't see price properly. And that was previous days 12:30, which means that's been seen to. We then have today's 12:30, which is over here. Here, opening of that candle right there. So in doing your back testing and stuff, what have you discovered? This is the most interesting thing that I like doing, is I point these things out, and then I let you discover what you have to, and however you add in your trading plan or strategy, whatever it is. See from the 12:30, look at that. It's all just random times, isn't it? Random. Where are we in price? Beautiful equal highs set on EU. Look at that bounce. Oh, that's quite nice. It's quite nice. I love seeing price just react. So again, I'm looking for a reversal. And there are things that I have to do with my reversal, which is I just have to wait for a market structure shift of some sort. If targets get seen to before I am able to, even if it doesn't give me the opportunity, like on Friday, oh, I was disappointed. I'm a human being. What I had on my chart was I had that sell ready on AU, and it didn't come into the fair value gap and give me that proper entry, which means I was not in the trade, and it moved exactly to how I said it was going to move, 100 pips to the sell side. So I'll show you that. On the Friday over here, we were looking right here at price. Okay. Then we had this over here, which I wanted it to come back into to tap in this liquidity and then go down. And unfortunately, if you zoom out, you can see the range. If you measure that from where we're looking at it down to the bottom, $98, $99, $99.5, oh, 100, and it fits. Ooh, if you're looking at the chart right now on your broker, you see there's fiddly bits happening. It means that the candle's just doing this. And it did it really, really fast. That's an indication. Indications that things are happening. Things are happening. The market's going to start moving. I'm excited. Exactly, AJ. It's a very consistent thing. If you do your MMG research correctly and you look at one day of the week and how that one day affects the rest of the following week, that's how I get it. So for my MMG sets up every single day, and during that time, it is normally a consolidation type of time. You'll find that there's always a consolidation at that time of the day. Okay, so between 4:29 and 5:15 a.m. on New York time, there's always a consolidation. Not always, but most times there's a consolidation. And what you'll find is that, or what I did was I looked at how that price, like which days affect other days, or how does price react. And for me, the most logical thing was to look at the week. And if I look at the week, there's 5 days in a week. Half of that is around Tuesday evening / Wednesday morning. Okay, perfection. Half of the week between 4:30 and 5:15. And that is normally, that's why I say it's the MMG, so it's the mid-morning gap, but it's actually also the midweek liquidity. So that is a very good thing for direction. And normally, if an MMG has not been filled during the week, then what you'll find is that on the Fridays or on the following Monday. So what I mean is that the Wednesday that's set up, like last week, for example, I'm looking at for this Friday. Or if it doesn't pan out on Friday, it'll go on Monday. Sometimes they started early, so sometimes they start on a Thursday and they start pushing to the price, but you know your direction is there until that MMG is filled. And as I said, it works like 7 out of 10 weeks. It will it'll present. And there's other times, again, you identify that, okay, it's not going to push to the MNG, so I'm just going to stay out. Whereas on Friday, I said, during Asia / London, I expected to drop sharply and drop 100 pips, and it did. And that's basically based on my MMG logic. Now, everyone can do it. You just need to make sure you know what's on your chart and where price is. What's GBP doing? There's not enough opportunity for me right now. I don't see any form of fair value gap or anything in price over here. So the euro, I don't see it. AUD has just created a move up. Yes. But it has just broken structure here to go down. So I'm expecting more sell side. We're literally residing. Look at the 66800. Again, look at price. 67,000, 66800. Price went from here down to the 800, and it's just been chilling within that range. It hasn't gone to the 500 yet. They might leave that gap. It's interesting. I should do a small walkthrough video. I think because I what I did was when I was with Trading Nuts on Friday, I did an explanation of the Hong Kong gap because it is quite reliable. So he's going to present a video with that. Matt says, Matt, you lost the streaming today. What do you mean you lost the streaming today? What? HK gap or NDOG for London? Both. Both. And always have that little 1230 on. You see how price came down to that 1230 candle? Literally, as I put it there, it came in, tapped it, and completely reversed on its head. I wonder why. I haven't got any fair value gaps within this. Again, if we have to wait for the setup. So again, we have 630, okay, which is over here-ish. Okay, I know that that's the high of 630. And we have 730, which is down here. So that's the low of 730. All right. Now price has come and seeked the sell side of the 730, and between 910 there's a shift to go to the buy side, which should be my trade, but I haven't been presented with an opportunity to actually enter. Unfortunately, it's so sad. But again, does go up, that's fine. I've had no risk in the market and I'm flat for the day. It's not an issue. Most times, though, if there's no gap, what tends to happen is that price will continue dropping, just like it did the other day on Friday. Is your interview being released this week? I don't have an interview yet. But what I might do, seeing as everyone's interested, is I might make a video with all of these concepts in play. Now, again, most of these concepts actually stem from ICT. So if you're ever needing to delve deeper into it, seriously, give his videos a watch. They will literally change your life. It changed my life. What's the difference between unlimited and standard? Also look into fractional liquidity grabs. So the difference between the standard, unlimited guardian, and the unlimited is exactly as it says. Unlimited is unlimited, meaning you have as much time as you want to get the challenge done, whereas the standard, you have a certain number of days you have to complete the task within. Then on top of that, you have a slight difference in the percentage that you're allowed to lose for your max drawdown. The max drawdown, instead of it being 10%, as is the industry standard, in the standard unlimited guardian, it is a 10% max drawdown, but with the unlimited, it is an 8% max drawdown. And the standard costs more, exactly. It's incentive to actually get the so the standard costs, I think it's like $515 or $529 or something, but the unlimited is $497 or something. So it's about $20 or $30 cheaper. And you have and if you're a decent trader, it's not an issue because you will continuously make profit. You won't break the drawdown rules. You can hear my dog barking. I'm sorry about that. I'm just getting excited because there's birds outside. Why would fractional liquidity grabs if you know where price is either going to target? Why would fractal liquidity grabs? I don't understand the question. Could you say that again? So oh, you're talking about, okay, I understand what you're saying. You're talking about if price goes down, creates an opportunity and continues going down, and I enter on the fractal to continue going. Yeah, I understand. Like this, for example, if it goes up, creates that fractal. We have this, creates this fractal. I would enter going up. I, again, like Raik said here as well, for the tightest possible stop, is I want to, for me personally as a reversal trader, I want to hit the bottom as the bottom. A lot of people are very, very scared. It's a very extreme, like you initially you're like price is gonna whip me up, because as you test it like literally price when you're like in the beginning and you're unable to like see price properly, you get snapped out immediately, and it's very, very difficult.
What is emergency?
Well, not emergency, but there's a guy to fix a cooktop. I don't know which one it was that's not working. He's here right now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go for a couple of minutes. I'll leave this on the chart. I'll turn the music up. I'll be right back. Just give me some time. Just tell me if that's a good level for sound. There's a bit of a emergency happening. So this again, this would have been my entry. As I said, it's going up. I would have taken, if there was a fair value gap, I would have entered, but it didn't present. I'll be back in a few minutes.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Sorry about that.
The end of the song.
Back.
Next time you sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't
We're
ask
in
questions,
price
shut
right
your
now.
lid.
AU has just taken part again. AU has just taken part side, so it's my strategy is very, very simple. Literally, I look at the 630, the lows of 630. That's where 630 here, 630 to 730. 730 is yeah. So the lows you can see are here from 630, and then the highs are here. Okay, that's your high and your low point. And what I'm literally looking for is for it to take liquidity and then make a reversal to that little fair value gap, but it wasn't at my time. I have a specific time. My time is between 8:50 and 9:10. I look for that same thing. So as you can see here, price has not gone to this area. It has not come to this area over here, or my 37.35 side. And so, as it's coming down, it does need to fill. And it's come down. The 12.30 perfect. Come up. And GBP is kind of the same as well. This is what I literally do on all my charts. It's the exact same thing. I look for the high, okay, between 6:30 and 7:30. There's a high right there, and I label it as my buy side. And then I have 6:30 to 7:30. Where's 7:30? It's over here. So then this would be my low. That would be my sell side. No, not 12:30. It's a different time period. Okay. Then as soon as it takes the one side, it makes a reversal, targets the other side. From there, takes the buy side, targets or does the other side. It's a very, very, very simple concept, and I created this for a reason, because it's very consistent. You have, especially during Asia sets up liquidity on both sides normally. And what you find is that what's the time? Yeah, that's why it's reacting like this. 16 is about to close. We're about to have our Hong Kong gap set. And so it's from there to there. Can I turn down the music? I can. It's on 10 though. Oh, I've got an idea. Why don't I turn up my microphone? And then you just need to turn it down on your phone, and then the music will fade into the background. So yeah, that's literally my strategy, and that's how I look at the market and see it. Now, here we just have the open right here of 16. So we have our Hong Kong gap set. Our price has to push away and then come and fill it in. Okay, so the closing of 215 and the opening of 916. That, and from the previous one right here, okay, that now is our Hong Kong gap for the day. We're very, very tight range actually. So we have a whole bunch of things nesting within one another right now, which means that's giving me validation that this is going to be a big liquidity point. They're busy gearing up and setting up for something special. So I have both on all the time, Hong Kong gap and the opening gap, because both, what you'll see is that price will come in, it'll use the opening gap, and then it might, but still hasn't filled the whole of the Hong Kong gap. I'm looking at the Hong Kong gap as my validation. I think someone turned off the music already. Oh, Cam, it's nice to see you around. How's it going? Okay, now we have not filled this from yesterday. Okay, this needs to be seen to. This has to be seen to at some point, either today or this week. This range here, this Hong Kong gap, and this weekly open. You can see the difference between the white one is the weekly open, and then the opening gap for the week is there, this like faint yellow. Rupert TV, all of this music is from the YouTube audio library, so it's not copyrighted. It's Creative Commons. It's unlicensed. They create it for this specific purpose. Again, no fair value gap. There was nothing presented to me here. I would this fair value gap, yes, but there's nothing under here. See that 12:30 on Friday? How it's respected. It's stunning. Stunning. I was just taking the buy side. I would have actually wanted even more sell side before going to the buy side. So if you're looking at the 15 minutes, let's make this very clean. I would have wanted personally for all of this liquidity over here to be snapped out, which is why I think I put this over here. I would want it to be snapped out and then go seek the buy side, because that's a very common signature of what they do. This liquidity point right here underneath this low, okay, is like a big point. Okay, you can even see here, this So there's a big gap over here. Price comes down. It comes down to just underneath this low to then start going higher to fill in the rest of that, and then ultimately continue going to the buy side. And you can see it everywhere. It's everywhere. Here we have a big gap over here. What does price do? Price comes in. Here's a low. You can see, zoom in even more, that there's a little bit of a wick below that one there. It's ever so slight, but they reverse it to send it higher, or the opposite. So they seek the buy side to then go lower. Right over here in this leg, before coming down to the sell side, same thing. We have this whole leg that's been not seen to. They then set a high, and then after that, what they do is they snipe it out and then reverse price. It's a very, very common thing. And like I said, I'm a reversal specialist. Coming out of a consolidation like this on AU, I would have expected that this low would have been taken, but it hasn't yet. Let's price reacting to right here. Fair value gap, and we have it's not filled in the sell side. I would not trust this fair value gap right now. I know everyone can see it. Okay. I would not trust it just because this liquidity has not been seen to yet. It has taken sell side, but it's left these beautiful perfectly equal lows down here at the round number for later. Time. And 10. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see if there's SMT on the charts, which there isn't yet. As I said in the beginning of the stream, the markets are a little bit broken right now. What I mean by that is that the correlation between them is not as trustworthy right now, which shows me that there's big manipulation in play. Now that's kind of usual for the middle of the year and for the end of the year. Every 6 months, you'll see that there is the markets tend to diverge. All right, so if you're looking at price right now, yes, you can see it's done this, but if you see here, Euro went all the way up from 4 o'clock until basically New York. GBP, if you look at price, what did it do? From 4 o'clock to here, it went down. So the markets aren't stable at the moment. And a lot of technical analysis from people is it could be seen as unreliable. Jeremy, Daily candle on DXY fell to close of CE of the weekly IFVG. So this consequent encroachment, do you know why consequent encroachment exists? Why ICT uses that point specifically, and why which ones matter? Or do you just know that it's consequent encroachment? That's the question I have for you. Okay, on DXY, until at minimum mitigates 4 buy side inefficiency, sell side. Yeah. I don't know so much. I feel personally, yes, it's going to go down, but this point over here is important. Again, before going down, I would expect price to come and fill this in at least, and then make its real move to go lower. Because it hasn't done anything here. It's just left all of this. And if we have our Hong Kong gap for today, you can see right now from here until 9:15. That's the 5 minutes. That's the 1 minute. Open of 16. Okay, this is our Hong Kong gap for today. As you can see, we're busy filling it in. Okay. People don't understand where liquidity is. Liquidity is on opposite sides of the Hong Kong gap, basically. Yep, but do you know what consequent encroachment actually is? And why certain wicks are more important than others? I'm not just talking about how the wick presents. I'm talking about why consequent encroachment exists. Something that ICT hasn't explained. So for those of you who are a bit confused about what's happening, if I go into daily, okay, and I go here, a large wick candle, let's just go to the side over here, okay, you can see that this large wick candle over here, consequent encroachment is 50% of that candle. Now, if I look at my Hong Kong gap, and I look at an efficiency from that point within the Hong Kong gap, and I look at 50% of that wick, which is 50%. It's very, very close, isn't it? So 50% slash the Hong Kong gap, it goes in more and it goes down. Funny. So I say, if you know what you know, which I know you know, and you're very successful, obviously, at doing what you're doing. But these points in price matter. 50% of this is my mid-morning gap. So 50%, you can see my mid-morning gap. There's certain price signatures within price that give you the certain wicks that you trade off of, Jeremy. So all you know is what ICT has told you, which is that 50% of the wick is consequent encroachment. So let's take this one. This one, for example, is a nice example. Mid-morning gap. All right, that's what I call it. We go here. 50% is up here. That's very close to my mid-morning gap. And what happens? Price comes to 50%, consequent encroachment. And because there's an inefficiency in price, that inefficiency is seen to and then gone away. That was a trade for that day. Same thing over here. Why that mid-morning gap over there? We have 50% of the wick. Consequent encroachment is right down there. But the rest of the days work off of that liquidity there. So understanding which wicks are going to present that opportunity is where it should be. We do have a fair value gap over here, and we have inefficiency on the buy side for euro. DXY on the daily, if we're looking at it. Okay. Again, 50% of this over here is the mid-morning gap over here. So you're not actually looking at this candle, you're looking at this one. And 50% of that over there fits right into the mid-morning gap for sell side. Buy side, we're looking at up here. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. So now we've just taken the buy side liquidity over here. It's 930. We have higher. And we have previous as well. Right here. As I said, Jeremy, you understand consequent encroachment, which is lovely. But the why of the consequent encroachment is important. That's why a lot of people don't understand which wicks are important on the daily, as to which ones to use. A lot of people don't understand how or why or when, where those certain wicks are important or not. Jeremy, mid-morning gap is something that I discovered by myself because I had to find out why. Personally, I don't like just being told, oh, this is what you do because that's just how you do it. No, I like finding out, well, why do I have to do it that way? Why are you telling me? Olive? Shush, man. So I like discovering and finding out why price does what it does. I don't just want to be like, oh, from this time and this time, it does this. No, I don't want someone to tell me. I want you to show me, okay, this is an idea. And then I myself go back into the charts and I will observe and test myself. Make sure that I understand what's going on. Because again, at the end of the day, this is your money that's on the line. And if you don't understand what you're doing, you don't understand price, then you can walk into a casino. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing as just because you don't understand what's happening. And okay, you want to say hello? Say hello to everyone. This is my dog. Hello. Hey, hello. Oh, thank you. Oh, the big lick on my nose. My dog's joined me. Am I inferring that wicks of CE that have any efficiency pairs are more valuable? Yes. Exactly. So, wicks, within that wick, there's information. A lot of information. I want to see what's happening on the 5-second chart because this is actually interesting right now. So yeah, my whole objective was finding out why people say what they say, and that is why things like moving averages and stuff like that, it never worked with me, because I don't understand why price is moving. Why is it respecting the 20? Like, what's giving it what's giving it the meaning to do that? And then that's when people start looking at news, and they're like, well, there's been this in news, so we're going to have this event happen. Can my dog place a trade? Possibly, I could take the little paw over here, this tiny little paw over here, and then she could place a trade. Bro, long time I watched your stream, and through you, I heard ICT and all stuff about SMC and decided to learn more about that. That's awesome. That's awesome. It is just another way to see the markets to help you in your trading. If you're able to see certain things in price, then you're able to give your trades more validation in a way. Because again, like people tend to think of this as a game. And it's not a game. People's money is on the line, and when the way that the price is moving, certain points are set throughout the day. Okay, now the big money or institutions or smart money or whatever, they know that those are the points in price that price is going to react from. And so everything else is just manipulation. So that's why I call it settlement, in that there's a certain price in the day that it has to settle. And if it leaves it open, it means that is an inefficiency in price, is a real inefficiency. It means that nothing has seen to that. So there will eventually later on down the road be a move that will go there. So with AU, for example, over here, there is an inefficiency of London on Friday not having delivered. London and New York didn't deliver to this opening gap. Okay, the price needs to make its way up to here. So if you have that in your charts, then you sorted. If we're looking at Wednesday, all right, your Wednesday mid-morning gap is over here. Price came perfectly to that mid-morning gap on AU. Without fail, it just went up, created another Wednesday over here, which is the one that I'm seeking right now. So I'm expecting AU this week to go up to the here. Okay, GBP, if we're looking at it, okay, Monday, that's this week. Friday, let me just pull it out to 5 minutes. Wednesday morning is over here. I'm expecting GU to pull up to here. Okay, to this point over here. Now, if you look at that on a daily, okay, which wick is the closest that would be consequent encroachment with inefficiencies? Do you count divergence from AU with EU and GU at 840? Divergence on AU with EU and GU, 840. 840 here. So divergence can appear in the chart anytime. So if you see what's happening, divergence is literally just the price between the currency pairs that should be correlated, so they should be moving the same. If you have one that's not moving the same, then what you have is you have price diverging from the other one. So SMT, or ICT doesn't know what to call it, but it's a smart money tool or whatever it is basically the difference between two pairs that are correlated that move slightly differently. Then what you do is you take the one that has the higher one and the higher price, and as that breaks, you can trade that to go short. So you see this, it's just working out perfectly. I had my entry, but there was no fair value gap. Am I phased? No. Price is going higher. It filled in the Hong Kong gap perfectly, didn't it? What a shocker. DXY on the opposing side came in. See, the daily does matter, but the Hong Kong gap gives you the direction and of where things are going to go. It's quite funny. Again, we go back to this 1 minute. On GU, did I set my 915 here? No, but it would be around 15, 16 down here, opening. So we have the Hong Kong gap over here, as you can see. As soon as it was formed, as soon as that was created, price is now moving to fill it in. AU completely filled it in already, just bang, done, no stress. From there, which was your 7:30 low, 8 o'clock, again, this is not my trade time. I would want this movement again 1 hour later, but it didn't present. I actually sent a message to a friend yesterday, and I said that I feel like they've shifted everything 1 hour in time, because it is responding to my 850, 910, but it's not giving me the entries that I specifically want. I want to see this in price. Literally, this is it. This is the whole model right here. Liquidity gets taken. We then have price coming up over here. As it continues, and then we have our fair value gap. Oh, I know. And then that's your entry for a long. But I want to see that 1 hour further. Here, I want to see that whole price go down and then present that. So yeah, right now, what is happening? Why are the chat's messages disappearing as I read them? I'm not deleting anything. Put it this way, bro. Do a moving average strategy, golden cross, with a good risk management and your golden champagne celebration. Risk management is God. Yes, exactly. As long as you have a bias, like I said, it doesn't matter how you trade. You can take any model you want, any trading style you want, anything, and literally anything. And as long as you have a bias, okay, you know where liquidity is, and you have a good risk management, you will trade towards that. And if you have an edge, if you are above a 1-to-1 trader, then it doesn't matter what system you use, you will be profitable. You just need to know where price is going. As traders, our job is not to react to the market. Our job is to predict where price is going, and then use certain things in price to get us our entry to go. So again, my predictions for this week is that all the price will go long. How I want it to go long, though, that's a different story. Isn't settlement time changing soon? If it changes, it'll show on the chart. So as you can see in DXY, if they change settlement price, okay, if they change the opening gap over here to a different time, it will present on a different time. So right here, 604 to 7:45. If you go to the previous day, you'll see that it wasn't at that time. Okay, it's a slightly different time. We have 5:09 until 6. But on the charts, what you'll find with EU and that is that their gap is they run it slightly longer. So we have 4:59 to 5:09. That's where the gap actually starts. 4:59 until 6 starting. Oh no, you're a hot dog, aren't you? You're a hot dog. So we're coming in to that MMG right now. Because it wasn't filled completely. I need filling. But I am looking at this going long. Might not be now, it might be in London. Because London will, or the next thing, that will need to reverse the price. Yeah, we know exactly where they're going. They're going up here. And further. Because that hasn't been seen to. Oh, really? Oh, really? Right? Oh. So that was a perfect example of if I go into EU of my trade idea panning out, but I wasn't able to necessarily get an entry. Yes, I could have taken a fractal down here. Do I think it'll come back in London? Yes. So what'll happen is right now there's equal highs that I pointed out because of the previous opening gap over here, Hong Kong gap over here. It's gonna seek that, filled in this whole inefficiency. See our price just slowly, just from here, it went lower, snapped that out. Okay, again, if you're ever trading, the first one that's set is not the one you want to be trading. You want to be trading the second one if you're on a larger time frame. So then it snaps that out, nice round number, and then continues. Now that was it's what I call the 6 o'clock reversal. On large range days, look for the time at 6 for it to swap. So what's interesting about AU is that I'm actually on my personal in a long trade on this. The whole day yesterday, I actually came in on Friday at this time right here. This low over here, fair value gap. I entered and then just went into consolidation for the rest of the day and then just has done this. And I just left it. So it's just continuing. And I've held it. Even though I don't normally hold trades, my trades normally last a couple of minutes. I know there's a lot of cash under there, but I don't hold stuff a lot. I'm in for like between 2 to 23 minutes is my trade. So for example, if price over here gave me the fair value gap that I wanted over here, which it didn't, I would have entered, and then this trade would have gone from this time over here, aroundish, till completion. For me, completion is this buy side liquidity. So time-wise, if I go from this candle to where it completed over here, it's 30 minutes. That's like the maximum length of the trade that I would be in. This is all filling. Beautiful. What's DXY? DXY has gone all the way down here. Oh, nice. Are you going to the previous week? It's good to see. Oh, really? Dollars, of course it's melting. We'll just see what that trade's at right now. Yeah, it's not too bad. So again, legs like this, everyone is expecting dollar to just continue raging higher. When you're doing your analysis, you have your points of liquidity. Like all of this has not been seen to. It was Asia was here, yes, but London didn't come back and fill this, and New York didn't come and give settlement. So we have to run to settlement price, and then it will come up here. Once it's over here, then that's when you can talk about, okay, maybe it's going to continue going higher. But if you look at the wicks, if you look at the candles on the 1 hour, you can see how clean it is. This lookout's responding to these points, these times in price. Just comes in perfect, perfect, goes. Continue going backwards, it's perfect. Here sets the swing, the previous one sets the swing, the previous one to create a new one. It goes up, comes back down, continues, goes away, sets the new one, comes towards, away, comes back, and then it's magic. It's literally magic. So now what they're doing. So again, I'm just going to pull the 1 hour out. Is this the hour? Yeah, it is. Okay, so now we have the 1 hour out. What they're doing right now is they've pushed price with very strong, vigorous force. And what they're going to do is they're going to create a wick. Now that wick is going to be presented now between 9:50 and 10 o'clock. The next candle will need to take some form of liquidity. It'll take it, go validate, and then continue going along. The same thing here, if you go into the 1 hour. So you can see here, if price is reversing, what it does is this candle closes, it then goes even lower to then come back because it's taking that liquidity of that wick. And then continues going up. Oh, she doesn't need to pee. She loves attention. She's a drama queen. She doesn't like being like closed behind doors. So right now my room, the door's closed, and she likes freedom. Hey, you like freedom, don't you? Yes, I know you do. But yeah, again, today was a day that the trader didn't it presented, but it didn't offer me a nice fair value gap to actually get in. That's just unfortunate. Again, the one that was very, very close over here. Okay, I'll show you what I mean by very, very close. Is that this fair value gap in price that you see right there? I know everyone's seen it if you're an ICT student. For me, that is too close to the opening gap and to the Hong Kong gap. Even though it did work, I would like it to be slightly further away, personally. So this one, for example, within my time over here at 9 to 9:50, it's too close. So wasn't able to get into a trade yesterday. The previous day, which you'll see here on the Friday, is that got taken. This comes up. It's literally within the gap. That's one of the reasons why I didn't take this, even though on AU at that time I actually was ready. I wanted to get in, but it just again didn't come back and give me the opportunity. That's okay. You take it, take some, you lose some. That's what it is. This little tight range over here, that little gap there, I would have loved it to come and fill that in and continue going down, but it didn't give me that opportunity. It took this one over here. But it is life, and we all have our ways that we trade, and we all have certain things that we see. All right, everyone, I'm gonna have to go soon. So thank you so much for tuning in with me. If you enjoyed this video, if you liked it, if you found it educational, if you set your stuff up, then enjoy. It's all about entertainment and making sure that people are informed through the way that I see things. It might not necessarily be correct, but it is fun nevertheless. Okay. Lovely. So everyone have a lovely, lovely day. Keep these times and prices on your chart, and you'll see magic happen. All right, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. So keep safe, and I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.